for 6/24/2020 is hereby in session. Roll call. Alder Weary. Present. Alder Weary.
He's connecting the audio.
Oh, he's still connecting. Okay. Well, Alder Gerlach. Here. Alder Burnett.
Here.
Alder Weary. Alder Scannell's here. Alder Weary is almost here.
I'm here.
Yeah, there you go. All present and accounted for. I'll take a motion to approve our agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alder Weary, seconded by Alder Burnett. Any changes? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we have an agenda for our meeting. I'll take a motion to approve our minutes from our last meeting.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Alder Burnett approves, made the motion. Alder Weary seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we have our minutes. We are on to regular business. Consideration with possible action on granting a utility easement to Wisconsin Independent Network, WIN, on behalf of the Green Bay Packers for the installation of a fiber optic line at John Muir Park. Staff?
Yeah, so this work, this easement would allow the Green Bay Packers to install a secure fiber optic line connection. So what they're doing is proposing to install a 1.25-inch conduit within the easement, and that will house the fiber optic line. So this conduit would be directional bored through the park. And you can see in the agenda packet, I did include maps of where that easement would be located. But because it will be, there'll be very little impact to the park itself. So very little site disturbance. So Wisconsin Independent Network has researched other options for routing the easement in alternate locations, but they are telling us that this is really the only feasible route. I have been told that they are working with others to secure necessary easements, and this city property is really the last piece of the puzzle, which would allow them to begin work. So on a staff perspective, we really don't have any concerns with this proposed easement, and we would recommend approval. If you have additional questions, there is somebody here who's in the Zoom chat room here from Wisconsin Independent Network who can answer any direct questions.
If we approve this, we all get Packer tickets, right?
You'd have to open the floor to ask him that.
I think I know the answer. Any questions then or anything? Anybody?
Yeah, I had one.
Alder Weary, do we need to open the floor or is it for?
No, it's for director.
Okay.
Director Ditchay, are any trees coming down for this, or are they able to?
No, there are no trees coming down. That's why they're boring it through the park.
All right.
Sounds boring.
I was waiting for that.
Move to approve if.
Motion to approve by Alder Burnett.
Second.
Seconded by Alder Weary. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion is approved, and everything that we do here, of course, has to go through council next Tuesday, 6 o'clock, for final approval.
Somebody wake Barb up. Oh, there she goes.
Yeah.
Monday. I think she was trying to say we meet Monday instead of Tuesday.
Yes, Monday.
Oh, I'm sorry, Monday. Is it Monday?
Yep.
Oh, thank you. I sit corrected here.
Boy, no, we meet Monday. You meet Tuesday, Randy.
Yeah, there we go. See you then. On to our next item. Consideration with possible action on increasing the launch fees at the Metro Boat Launch. Staff.
Yeah, so in 1989, the city did enter into an agreement with Brown County and De Pere to implement a uniform boat launch fee system. And the reason for that is so that all of the regional launch facilities were consistent with their fee structure. The reasoning behind it was to simplify the process for the public and ensure that one municipality didn't get overwhelmed with the boaters because they have the lowest fee compared to all the other municipalities. And then at some point down the line, the village of Wrightstown installed a boat launch along the river, and they also entered into the agreement. So when the agreement started, it was in 1989, and back then the annual fee was $20. And then in 1999, the fee was increased to $30. And then the last increase was around 2016, where the fee was increased to $35 with a $5 senior discount. And then the daily pass was set at $5. So there's only been 2 fee increases since this was implemented in 1989. So several weeks ago, the county, Brown County, contacted the city, Village of De Pere, and then the Village of Wrightstown, and requested that the fee be increased to be comparable to other municipalities. So what we're proposing as a staff is increasing the seasonal pass fee to $60. $50 would be a senior pass, so there'd be a discount for a senior. The daily fee would increase to $6 from $5, and then the commercial pass would be $75. So the commercial pass would apply to contractors, boat dealers, or like anybody like fishing and hunting at that, where somebody's making a business with boating. When you look at in the agenda packet, I did include an Excel document which shows adjacent municipalities and other municipalities in Wisconsin and what they charge. So when you look at what the proposed fee is, what staff is proposing, it's in the mid-range of what all of the other municipalities are charging. So we wouldn't be the lowest, we wouldn't be the highest, we'd be in the middle. And although this fee does seem like a drastic increase, just note that the fee has only marginally increased since 1999. So we did increase it in 2016, but it was a very small increase. So there really hasn't been much of an increase since 1999. The desire would be for all 4 municipalities to work together and continue with the unified fee structure. So De Pere was the first of the 4 municipalities to bring this through their committee. They brought it through last week. De Pere did approve this contingent upon all of the other municipalities also adopting the fee structure. So we're next in line agenda schedules. Very soon, Brown County and Wrightstown will be bringing it to their respective committees also. So in total, there's 8 boat launches in the county. So this fee would only, increased fee would only apply to the city of Green Bay for the Metro boat launch, because of the 8 launches that would be looking at increasing their fees, the Metro boat launch is the only launch in the city that the city manages and maintains. So the additional fees generated at the Metro boat launch would be used to maintain the facility. So currently we bring in enough revenue to offset annual labor expenses needed for the facility. But if you've been out there recently, you'll see that, you know, there's a need to do improvements out there, and we are not generating enough revenue to do any improvements. So those docks are in need of a total replacement. Right now, several of the docks were actually damaged last year due to the high water, and DPW was able to kind of piecemeal 2 of them back together. So right now we only have 2 working docks at the Metro boat launch. So I think Director Grenier is planning on putting in a bond request for next year to replace those piers. And obviously the increased fees would offset some of those costs of what we would have to borrow to do those capital improvements. In addition, when you go out there, you'll see that the parking lot is in need of replacement in the next few years also. We've been patching it for the last 5 to 10 years, but you know, it's kind of nearing the end of its lifespan. In addition, there's other things we'd like to do out there from a capital perspective, and there is not enough money generated in revenues to really do any capital projects out there other than just put the docks in, take them out, and mow the lawn. and do very general maintenance. So as a staff, I'm recommending approval of this fee increase, and I guess I'm open to questions if you have any. Yes. Well,
Alder Weary?
Thanks. How many fees do we generally issue a year? Yeah, how many permits are?
hold on, I have a breakdown here. I do not have the total number of passes available right now, but in 2019 we generated 21,000, just over 21,000 in season passes, and almost 18,000 in daily passes. So roughly last year we generated $39,000 in revenue, but I don't know the total number of passes sold.
Okay. So we're not going to double it because the daily pass isn't doubling, but
Correct.
we'll go up to 70,000 or something like that.
And keep in mind that each year is different depending on how many boaters use the facility. So that's not a budget line item. That's actually what we generated in revenue last year. Those are actual dollars.
And this money will stay for use at this location? It's not going to get mixed in the park budget?
Correct. So what we do is we have a dedicated account, and all of the revenues go into that account to maintain the Metro boat launch. And between Public Works and myself, we, on an annual basis, we go through that budget and determine where that funding should be used for. But as I mentioned, right now, really we're just generating enough money to maintain it and not do any improvements to it.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Okay,
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Alder Weary. I'll second. I mean, I think the peer's already done it. I think the county and also Brownstown probably will follow. I think it just makes sense that we all do this, and I'm for it. Yep, Alder.
I would say one recommendation, if you want to, I'll leave it up to you. But I would make it contingent upon the other municipalities also adopting the same fee structure.
Yep, very good.
That'll be part of my motion. Yeah.
Okay. And I will second that. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Do we need to do that on the board, or can we 3-1?
I don't think we need a report. Just, I'm a no. So.
Okay, we'll document.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Then we are on to the director's report.
All right, so just a few things to add. You'll see in the agenda packet, we've given you an update of what's been going on the last 2 weeks, but just a few things to add. So Bay Beach officially opens full-time on Friday. We did have a soft opening last weekend just to get the staff acquainted with new processes and procedures with sanitation and crowd control and stuff like that. So we did allow a very limited number of people into the park over the weekend. But starting Friday, what we're doing is we are limiting capacities, as I mentioned to you previously. So we'll be selling 2,000 wristbands a day. So as people leave and turn their wristbands in, we can then sell another wristband. But that's going to be our capacity out at Bay Beach. So we're pretty excited about opening up that facility. On July 6th, we're tentatively looking at opening Colburn Pool. Now, we're still working through a few things. That date is still tentative, but we are hoping to open it July 6th, but it may be a couple of days later. We'll keep you guys posted as far as timeline on that, but we're showing some progress there. Construction is nearly completed with just a few punch list items, and we still need the state and the county to formally approve us to open up, but we have to wait for those few punch list items to be done first. So But tentatively, July 6th is the opening for Colburn. And then also July 6th would be the tentative opening for additional amenities out at the Wildlife Sanctuary. So we'll start opening up some of the buildings to the public out there. One thing we might have to have further discussions on, and we'll probably talk about this at the next park committee, is splash pads and wading pools. So, where ideally we'd like to open those up also, but as we've been doing our research in the state, we are not finding any municipalities opening up splash pads or wading pools at all in Wisconsin. So we're continuing to do research to see whether or not it's feasible to open those up in the city of Green Bay. We'll keep you posted. If we need to talk about it at the next park committee, we will. But there are reasons why nobody is opening them. So other than that, that's really all I have to update you on right now. If anyone has any questions on the director's report, I'm here for that.
I think we're good. Those are great reports. They're very detailed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hope they don't take too long to do. You're not up all night.
No, our staff is pretty good at doing these. We've been doing them for years. So we feel that it's really helpful for the park committee to really get a handle on really what's going on in the parks, because we're a pretty big department and there is a lot going on. And unless you read these reports, you just don't realize how much work we actually do. So
appreciate it.
Yep.
Do we need to receive and place it on file, or?
So moved.
Yes, we do.
Okay, moved by Alder Burnett.
Second.
Second by Alder Gerlach. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. We are done. We'll meet again July 15th.
Move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Alder Burnett.
Second.
Second by Alder Weary. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Adios.
Thank you.